what's up everybody? Welcome to another episode of B is for Build. We're back in the shop playing with the 2J. In this episode, the goal is to get the 2J to start, and then if we get it to start early on without too many problems, I'd like to kind of figure out a more permanent wiring solution, at least a strategy. So I've taken all the advice that I was given in the last episode, and I'm going to apply it in this episode, and we'll see how it goes. Stay tuned. Alright, the first thing that I would like to do is, I need to address the fact that yes, there was oil in the engine. I understand that a lot of engines get shipped over here without oil in them, but this one had oil in it, a good amount, and it looked good too. It wasn't too bad of condition. So that's what I was trying to crank it with. But we wouldn't have had oil pressure because the oil filter wasn't on, because the oil filter unit was uninstalled when we did the motor mounts. So I'm gonna go ahead, first thing I'm gonna do is reinstall that thing, throw an oil filter on there, top off the oil, make sure that that's all good, and then we can get back to fixing our wiring solution. All right, hopefully you can see down here, we've got our new oil filter, installed, and all that oil filter goodness back on the block. And I've checked the oil levels and we're all good there. So moving on to the starter and the slow cranking of this engine. I talked to a lot of people online, and thank you all for the comments. And I actually met some cool people in Texas that I was able to talk to about this. And everybody pretty much unanimously agrees that they think the issue is around the power and the type of cabling and connections I was using to send power from the battery to the starter. So these guys, the jumper cable types and this stuff, not really gonna cut it. So their advice was to run down to the hardware store, get some of the wires that go from the post to the battery, have a nice surface connection with the post to the battery, and go to the starter as well as go to the block. So that's exactly what I've done. I went out, I needed to use that battery for something else anyways, so I actually put that battery back in another BRZ. I bought a new battery specifically for this car with a little bit more cold cranking amps, and I bought two actual legit battery cables that have post connections. And I'm going to go ahead and wire those up. I'm going to wire one to the starter wire right here. I will bolt it on just like we did with this one. And then we will bolt one onto the block of the engine for our ground. And then we're going to leave the fuel pump out of it and the ECU out of it for now. And then I will just test the starter and the cranking, and we'll see how that goes. Alright, we're all wired up once again. You can see I've got much better quality cabling in here, and it looks a little bit more official. As long as this signal wire hasn't came loose from underneath the starter and everything works, we should get some crank out of this. So let's see how it goes. Alright, that's a lot more like what we were looking for. So, sweet, I'm very excited now. I'm going to go ahead and get the ECU plugged in, get the fuel pump stuff plugged in, and we can go ahead and give this thing a start. Man, I'm excited. Here we go. All right, moment of truth. Fire extinguishers are at the ready. So this one goes to ECU and the fuel pump. This one goes to the starter signal. This one will stay on the starter no matter what. So in the event that the engine does run, when I pull this bundle off, it should stop running. That's what I've been told. I'm so excited but so nervous at the same time. Here we go. That like that. Okay, we got something to figure out. Okay, previously I could hear the ECU kind of kick on when I put power to it. Now it's not doing that, so I'm worried about maybe the ground is not good or the power's not good. I'm going to work on the ECU a little bit. Okay, I'm glad that was something that I could figure out. What it was we had a dead cable running to the hot side of the ECU. So now if I tap this on here, you're going to hear it kick in. That is the ECU. So we're ready to give it another try. It's never easy. All right, I gotta check what gear the transmission is in. That's one thing that could be stopping this thing from starting. Okay, added one more piece to the puzzle. The igniter wasn't grounded, so I went ahead and grounded it to the intake manifold right there, and then that should be good. So let me plug the fuel pump back into here. Let's give this another try. All right, I quadruple, million time checked. The transmission is for sure in park. I got under there and I went through each toggle. So there's kind of like a toggle switch that goes click, 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 because it's not automatic. And I took the end of the transmission and I would spin it, and you could spin it in each one until you got to the very end. And then you went to spin it and it just went like lock, and it locked in there. So let's give this one more try. I'm pretty confident. I can't imagine that that is anything other than park. What could it be? All right, back for day 2. I cut yesterday a little bit early to just go try and figure out what's going on here and talk with a couple people. I talked with Andy, a Toyota engineer that I met while I was in Texas. I'm pretty sure he's an engineer. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, he totally knows his shit when it comes to this stuff. And he looked up some wiring diagrams, as well as I talked to Trevor at Motion Auto TV, and I believe I figured out what's wrong here. So I was really focused on looking at the pinouts and the wiring up for the ECU, but that's not the only thing that needs power in this engine, and other things just need direct switched power. So I think what's going on is there are these things called body loom plugs, and I was like, I don't have a body. I don't have to worry about those things. Those are other people's problems. Kind of do have a body, so my body has got to send power to some of the pins in some of these plugs here, and I'm really hoping that's what's going on. I'm hoping that was the problem. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is find the different pins. I've been told by both of those guys the pins that I need to look up. I'm going to find those pins. I'm going to connect them all up into one more bundle, just another power bundle, and then we'll power those things up as well, and we'll give this thing a shot. All right, I got the required wires from the body looms kind of running out here towards the front, bundled and ran to another power wire that comes down to about here. It's the moment of truth. I'm pretty nervous. Okay, so first thing I want to test is I've got the ECU plugged in here. Good, you can hear that click on. Wait, what's this cable again? Okay, this is to our new powered body bundle unit thing. So that's on. Gonna kick on the fuel pump here. Yeah, I don't like it right there. I'm gonna kick it on right here. Here we go. Moment of truth. Yes! Woohoo! Started spraying ATF everywhere. Yes! Yes! It runs! It runs! Woohoo! Oh my god, that is so awesome. Big thanks to Trevor and Andy for helping me out and figuring out that problem. If I would have just followed the instructions on the website that I was following, I would have got there, but I would just scroll down and I saw the body loom stuff and I was like, I don't have a body. I don't need to worry about that. And I didn't do it, but I should have done more research, but thanks to them for tipping me off to that, and now I know. If you guys want to know how to do this on your own, I will do a much more detailed, thorough, in-depth episode on exactly how to wire one of these up so you can have your own little standalone 2J that if you want to swap it in any vehicle. If you can find the mounts, I'll show you how to run it off of its own ECU. by doing this. Man, I'm so excited. That is so freaking cool. I wish I could run it longer, but it's like spewing ATF all the way like 10 feet. So I can't do it any longer. Damn, that's awesome. That is so cool. All right, guys, this is where I'm going to end this episode. In the next episodes, we got to measure what we need to do to modify the driveline and some other goodness, and we'll actually really wire up the engine the real way that we're going to do it. I've got an idea in my head, and I think I might be able to just like make it so it actually operates on the push button start on the BRZ, which would be really, really cool. I'm just so excited. I forgot. What do I normally? If you guys want to, if you want to help out BS for Build, you like what we do, and you want to help out and support, head over to bsforbuild.com. Scroll down to the shop. A lot of our shirts are out of stock right now, but we got some of these in stock, as well as the BRZ shirts are coming shortly, guys. So they will be in there. Keep your eyes out for those. Yeah, anyways, if you want to help support buying anything at the shop, all that merchandise is managed by me, designed by me, packaged by me, so all the proceeds of that go directly into these builds. If you want to find us at more places, we are at BS for Build. BS for Build on Instagram, BS for Build on Facebook. I'm so happy, I'm like speechless. It wasn't like, I want to tell you guys a story. So working on all this stuff, I had to use the voltometer, whatever the hell that thing's called. I should know the name of that. Anyways, when I first got this car about a year and 6 or 7 months ago, I was trying to diagnose a no start issue. The car wouldn't try and kick on and start, and that's why we ended up having to replace the wiring harness. And I was hunting around with the voltmeter, and sometimes I'd get positive 12, and sometimes I would get negative 12. So I was on the forums, on like some BRZ forums, and I asked people, I was like, hey, why am I getting negative sometimes? I know now it's because I had the polarity reversed. When you put the ground on the positive, you get negative. But the people responding in the forums, they're like, if you don't know how to work that, you're in way over your head. And I responded, I was like, don't be an asshole, just tell me what I'm doing wrong and I'll figure it out. And followed that motto. Everybody was not assholes, and about a year and a half later, I just did my first engine swap, and then it happens to be in the same car. Now, the engine's not fully swapped, it's not powering the wheels, but I mean, I just made the engine run in the engine bay of this car. So cool, so cool. Like, that really goes to show that, it's been a long journey, I guess, from learning how to use a voltmeter to do an engine swap. All I had to do was work on cars every single day for a year and a half, and comes right to you. This was a really fun experience. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like and subscribe. Peace!